Oh my. Is that another one? Always messing up my webs. This one took days to make, too. Maybe I can try a different pattern this time? Reflect the lighting a bit more. Maybe that will help things from stumbling into them all the time. Really tangled up good, this one. Creatures are so... you're awake? Stay calm, stay calm. Please, don't yell, or move anymore. The more you move, the more tangled up you get. Please, close your eyes. No, of course I'm not going to eat you alive. How absolutely morbid. I just don't want you looking at me, please. I'll cut you down and remove the tacky strands keeping you tangled. I won't eat you or anything. You're looking at me. No, I won't come back out until you stop struggling and you close your eyes. And keep them closed. For all I know, you're just going to attack me when I get close. If I was toxic or could put you to sleep, I would. But that's not something I'm capable of. I'm not really the dangerous species of strider you locals seek to destroy. No toxic pods or spindles with coated barbs. I'm just an average web weaver. And you stepped in one of my nets. Are your eyes closed? I can tell if you lie to me. Okay, good. I'm going to cut you down now. Don't grab onto me or move too fast. I'm not toxic, but my inner legs are a bit sharp. No, like I said, I'm not going to eat you. You're far too large of prey for me. Not that I'd entertain the idea of eating humans. They're perfectly good fauna who are attracted to my glittering webs. There. You should be able to wiggle your legs free with your hands now that they aren't all tied up. I promised I wouldn't hurt you, see? No, I'm going to stay as hidden as I can, thank you. You can take the broken silk with you. I don't need it anymore, and you people use webbing for apothecaries and other stuff, if I remember right. The closest road is north-northeast of here. I don't know how you managed to get lost out here in the deep, but I recommend you start to go wherever you call home. Safe travels. What are you? Please stop following me. I'm not that interesting, I swear. So odd, this one. Why do I sound so anxious? Because you're making me nervous. Seriously, stop following me. The deeper we go, the more dangerous it is to be unarmed. Your bodies aren't built for this terrain. Careful. Don't lose your footing on the ivy. You'll slip and fall into the ditch. See? Just as I said, you should return to safety. Other humans or some other wild creature might follow you back home with me. Yes, home. That was just one of my feeding webs. I was never going to eat you, unconscious or not. You're not my preferred meal. Too big. Potentially dangerous. Of course. Let's say I did eat you up. You have other humans that know of you, yes? I don't want to be hunted down and killed because you were too foolish to stay away from the feeding grounds of monsters. Careful! You almost walked into another one of my webs. Don't you see them? No. Because you're too busy looking at me trying to follow me around. Please try not to walk into them. I spend a long time spinning these webs. I don't want you breaking more of them needlessly. Like this one here. This one took me 8 moonrises to craft. I am very proud of my web weaving. It is my expression of self as well as my source of nourishment. Spinning my beautiful webs is all I do here in the deep. Every once in a while, some of you people get stuck in them. I guess animals too. And I always get pegged the bad guy just because everyone else was too oblivious to take in their surroundings. Of course, you're not the first intelligent creature to fall into my traps. Recently, I had a very scary experience with a local adventurer. They looked a lot like you, just more hostile. In their eyes, there was this malicious flame hiding deep inside, as if they entered the forest with a darker purpose than to just explore. Perhaps they were more of a hunter, but they also got ensnared in my traps. They were far more aggressive, swinging their sword at me like a wild brute the moment I was able to get a single arm untangled. They squirmed and rioted, didn't hear a word I was saying. Their shouts and screams of rage and fear were piercingly loud, hurt my ears. Their face was beet red, and they were shouting with such hostile passion. I wondered if they hurt their own eardrums with the pitch. But the moment they started to attack, all I could do was retreat and hide away as quickly as possible. I was starving, so I was admittedly terribly slow, weak enough to track. They called upon their friends and their tools and torches and tried to hunt us down. There are more of us. Not that I associate with them often, but when danger strikes, we group up and defend each other. Strength in numbers. I am far weaker than my poisonous brethren. I can't tell you where. I don't ask you where you live. Besides, I can't trust you. Where am I going? You noticed. I have been circling the area for a while now, crossing the paths, hoping your bipedal legs would get tired and you would head back home where you came from. I'm not showing you where I live. I can't trust you yet. Or ever. It would be foolish of me. I can't trust you to never try to do something nasty and mean-spirited. Not really. I'd be one dead spider if I trusted anyone who seemed nice. My existence, then? I just like to spin webs. That's all my species can do. And I love it. Many creatures used to love it, especially humans. Yes, they like to examine them, much like you were. I used to spin silk for a local shrine. Yes, Drider silk is a very rare and useful material for many goods. At least it used to be. People used to take my silk off the shrine steps and craft many amazing things with them. In return, I would get offerings. I loved having that purpose, actually. Like creating masterpieces with my own hands, so to speak. Why did it stop? I do not know. Perhaps they grew tired of my craft, or found no more worth. Besides, that peaceful coexistence only lasted for so long. At the end of the day, all creatures fear the unknown. Show you the shrine? I suppose you can visit the shrine if you really desire to see, but it's all run down and nobody visits. The walls are weathered, the vines have nearly engulfed the structure, and the paths have been reclaimed by the deep woods. Last time I dropped off a batch of silk was many years ago, and when I had checked on the state of the shrine, out of curiosity and homesickness, people had vandalized the walls and floors. We Drider are not welcome like we used to be. Upkeep the shrine? I used to, but there's little motivation when one is not wanted. That is understandable, at least, yes? Well, I at least feel like coexistence has become a thing of the past these days. Our relationship with other creatures are much like this shrine. Exactly. So run down and engulfed in the floor one would hardly recognize it. You seem oddly enthusiastic. A curious soul, aren't you? No. I will stay up here in the trees and out of reach, thank you. What did I used to do exactly? Well, I used to spin a large canvas across the front here. What used to be the front of the shrine, that is. I would use imagery, delicately woven patterns upon my webs to warn the local people of any dangers that would come within the month's time. Any bad weather, dangerous coming of creatures, some positives too, but not anymore. They even had a special designated human who analyzed my art and in turn relayed the messages back to the local people. A following of about a dozen allowed on the shrine grounds. Only 2 were able to enter the shrine. Or, that is all I could interpret. I never understood why any part of the lands were restricted. Humans are silly with each other, it seems. But like I said, a fond memory of the past is all this place is. What, you? Want to fix up the shrine here in the deep woods? But its purpose has long since passed. I cannot control what you do. If that's how you want to spend your days, then I will not fault you. As long as you stay out of the deep woods and out of trouble, you may do with the shrine as you please. It was built by your people in the first place. Stay? No. I must go. Remember, I entangled you from my web. I'm feeling famished, and all this walk and chat has been lovely. But there are other webs I need to check and a meal to be had. Just please return home before the sun falls. The last thing the shrine needs is a spirit to inhabit it. Yes, if you follow this path here, under the brush, you will be led to a town, northeast. Thank you. No, I have no name. Driders do not need such things. Call me whatever you like. Truly, I do not mind. Will I return? Well, I'm curious as to see if this old place can be restored. So as long as you stick to the path and changes are made, you should be able to see me again. Just in the treetops. Safe travels to you as well, adventurer.